Hi, Thriller Recaps here. Today, I am going to explain the movie, Sweet Girl. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this. The movie begins with a happy family consisting of Amanda, Ray, and their daughter Rachel enjoyed quality time hiking and camping by the river, but their happiness was shattered when Amanda fell seriously ill with cancer. Ray and Rachel continued to bond through family boxing sessions while Amanda received care from her daughter. However, their hope was crushed and the hospital doctor informed them about a potential life-saving drug called Sparrow, which had been removed from the market due to a business decision made by Bioprime CEO Simeon Keeley. Ray, desperate to save his wife's life, called Keeley during a live debate with Congresswoman Diana Morgan, threatening to harm him if the drug wasn't reinstated. Sadly, Amanda's life hung in the balance as Keeley dismissed the threat, leaving the family in anguish. After Amanda's passing, Rachel sang a heartfelt goodbye to her mother, and the pain of her death weighed heavily on both her and Ray for 6 long months. Ray's life took an unexpected turn when he received a call from journalist Martin Bennett, who promised to help him seek justice for Amanda by exposing crimes committed by powerful figures. Bennett claimed to possess solid evidence that could bring down Bioprime and other influential individuals. Their secretive meeting was arranged on a subway, unbeknownst to Rachel, who was curious about the mysterious turn of events. However, Ray concealed the truth from her. As Bennett unveiled a web of bribery involving Bioprime and the drug that could have saved Amanda, Ray remained skeptical. Tragically, a hitman named Santos, who had been tailing them, brutally murdered Bennett, then attacked Ray and Rachel, leaving their fate hanging in the balance. At a station, as the train halted, Santos viciously stabbed Ray and rendered Rachel unconscious, abandoning them on the platform as he escaped on the departing train. 2 years later, Rachel honed her boxing skills, engaging in a fierce fight with an older man that nearly turned lethal, until her father intervened. Meanwhile, Ray, consumed by the desire for vengeance over his wife's death, conducted a solitary investigation into Keeley. Disguised in attire he found in a closet, Ray infiltrated a gala honoring Keeley. However, by the time he arrived, Keeley had concluded his speech. Seizing an opportunity, Ray posed as a bartender and clumsily spilled a drink on Keeley, irking him enough to leave momentarily for cleanup. Ray took advantage of the situation, pressing a knife to Keeley's throat and demanding answers regarding the hit on Bennett and the corrupt bribes. As Keeley disclosed Chairman Vinod Shah's involvement in authorizing hits and acknowledged his role in Ray's own ascent, he cautioned Ray about the perilous path he was treading. When one of Keeley's bodyguards attacked Ray, a chaotic struggle ensued, leading to the accidental death of the bodyguard, and Ray, in a moment of desperation, choking Keeley to death. Realizing the dire consequences of their actions, Ray and Rachel fled, seeking refuge in a remote motel outside of town, aware that they were now targets. When the police arrived at the crime scene, one of the bodyguards feigned ignorance but eventually revealed that the person who killed Keeley had issued threats against him. The FBI initiated a hunt for Ray upon tracing Keeley's death to him, prompting Rachel to reach out to FBI agent Sarah Meeker, urging her to investigate Bioprime and vouching for Ray's integrity. Sarah provided Rachel with her contact information and advised her to use a disposable phone, though Rachel hesitated to do so. Ray finally entered his child's room, but she refused to communicate with him, still deeply affected by recent events. The following morning, 2 mercenaries forcibly entered the motel, and though Ray attempted to flee before their arrival, they caught up with him and Rachel inside. In a desperate bid to protect themselves, Ray ended up taking the lives of the intruders, further straining his relationship with Rachel. He secured one of their guns for self-defense. The FBI managed to locate Ray's whereabouts, strengthening their belief that he was the culprit, and Sarah received news of another murder committed by Ray. As they drove to the scene, Ray tried to explain to his daughter that he had acted to keep them safe, but Rachel had grown disillusioned and wanted nothing more to do with the situation. Ray drove off the road into the frigid snow and examined the phone he had taken from one of the gunmen, discovering Chairman Vinod Shah's connection. He resolved to go after Shah, despite Rachel's concern about his lack of preparation. In a moment of frustration, Ray depleted all his bullets by shooting at a tree. Rachel, fearing for their safety, secretly contacted FBI agent Sarah using a personal phone, revealing her father's intentions and sharing details about her mother. Sarah reassured Rachel, helping her regain her courage. Ray attempted to repair his car, and Rachel persuaded him to let her accompany him, making him promise to return. They arrived at Shah's house, where Rachel asked Ray about his plan for entry, only for him to admit he didn't have one. Ray pursued Shah's car and managed to corner it, attempting to interrogate him. However, their confrontation took a deadly turn when Santos, who had been tailing Shah, killed Ray. In a frantic escape, Ray and his daughter narrowly evaded Santos, fleeing into the woods. Amid their flight, Ray scolded Rachel, expressing regret that she had followed him to the subway, and she realized Santos was the man who had tried to harm them there. They abandoned their old car and acquired a new one before heading to a diner, where they unexpectedly encountered Santos. In a tense meeting, Santos accused Ray of being the villain, while positioning himself as the opposing force in their tumultuous journey. Ray persuades Santos to reveal his employer's identity, Diana Morgan, the senator. Shocked, Ray realizes the truth about Diana's involvement. Santos promises they will cross paths again in Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, in her office, Sarah confides in her colleague about her determination to protect Rachel. When she learns that a tow truck has been stolen, leading to the discovery of Ray's abandoned car in the woods, she takes action. Upon their arrival in Pittsburgh, the FBI spots Rachel and pursues her to the roof of a baseball stadium. Agent Meeker tries to reason with her, but a shocking revelation unfolds. Ray had actually died from his injuries 2 years ago during the confrontation with Santos at the station. Rachel is urged to calm down as FBI agents reassure her of her safety. Sarah reminds her of her father's integrity and emphasizes that she is not him, offering comfort during this tumultuous revelation. Sarah encourages Rachel to reclaim her identity and step out from her father's shadow. Rachel, finally embracing her own name, jumps into the river, but miraculously survives and is rescued by paramedics. Despite being revived, Meeker attempts to arrest her, but Rachel manages to escape by crashing the ambulance. She walks away from the accident scene and, in a poignant moment, pours out her feelings to her imagined presence of her father, sharing her fears and determination to seek justice. Ray's soothing words assure her that he is with her. Rachel, resolute in her mission, plans to break into Senator Morgan's office. As she enters a building, she witnesses Morgan's campaign for senator, reinforcing her determination to hold those responsible for her family's suffering accountable. Rachel's heartache deepens as she recalls cherished moments with her parents, tears flowing freely. Breaking into Morgan's office, she confronts Santos once more, ultimately ending his life. Returning to Morgan, the senator attempts to instill fear, warning of the FBI's pursuit, but Rachel stands resolute. Morgan, in a desperate bid, hints at an offer to clear Rachel's charges and grant her a normal life, but Rachel's frustration boils over. She brandishes a knife and records Morgan's admission of bribery by Bioprime and the order for Bennett's assassination. Rachel questions whether it was all worth it, but Morgan remains speechless, confronted by the consequences of her actions. Choosing mercy, Rachel spares Morgan's life and forwards the damning tape to Sarah. Concealing her wounds, she embarks on a plane headed toward an uncertain future, guided by the belief that her parents' love and presence will forever accompany her on this journey.